All right, go ahead. What does he say? How we doing?
It's rolling.
Follow me. Follow me. Go ahead.
Over here.
That's some camera right there. I think you got the point through the hand motions. Good job, dude. Good job.
Yeah, he knows. He's seen the videos.
All right, I'm going to talk to Nick now. You go ahead. Take your iPad, and I'll see you in a little bit. All right?
Yeah, good job, Nicholas. What's going on? I got a special guest with me all the way from Philadelphia. Chooch, Matt, thank you all. Thank you for coming on.
What's going on? Yeah, even though we ain't got a game today, you know what happened Thursday, so we're good. We're good.
Thank you for coming on. So let's start off with your job history and your background. You know, before you became a carrier, what type of jobs were you doing before you started carrying mail?
All right. I'm an 18-year letter carrier, same station since I began back in 2006. Previous to that, I had worked in the restaurant business for about 10 years. I also did a little shipping and kind of like office clerical work in between the restaurant work and the postal work. So very familiar with working on my feet, very familiar with working outside, long hours, grinding, doing exactly what our host here has been doing for his 30 years on Earth. I said, only I'm 44, so I've been doing it a little longer. Father of two, husband to the greatest wife on earth, and 11-year-old daughter right there with the little guy, and they're fantastic. And that's my story in a nutshell.
I love it. So what do you like best about the job? You know, a lot of people talk about the negative. What is one thing that you like about the job the most? Like what gets you out of bed in the morning and say, I like doing what I do?
Being a carrier for as long as I've been a carrier, to say that, like, you know, a lot of people get soured out on it. I wake up every day looking forward to going to do my job. I have just a work ethic that allows me to switch off everything that's going on bad in me and go into those four walls. Well, when I get out of those four walls onto the street and then get into my territory, which is the street carrying, I said I have such a great time doing the job every day. Rain, cold, heat, whatever. Like I said, I tell the guys in our group, it's a reflex at this point. It just happens, you know. And no matter how much BS we get from the other people on the other side of the fence, I still persevere to be the most chipper. You know, have you had this angry mailman type people out there? I'm the chipper mailman. I'm looking to start a trend called the chipper mailman, the happy
man of many nicknames.
One too many. Yep, one too many.
Right. So you deliver out in Pennsylvania. What type of challenges do you face being a carrier out there? Like, do you have a lot of walking routes? Do you deal with some animals? What type of challenges do you face on your routes?
Pennsylvania, you know, has its share of a lot of dog owners, and I'm in a suburban town. It's very affluent, so most of them are trained. I've had my ankle nibbled on once or twice back in the day, but since I've been doing the same route now for 14 years, I know my territory. I know my people. I know where to go, where not to go. We face challenges basically about, you know, staffing. And how mail seems to move in mysterious ways, going from A to B sometimes in our area. Like, you know, Saturday has now become the new, I call it the second Monday. Like all this mail magically shows out of nowhere, like Boscov's catalogs, Costco, the little letter size Costco. I'm like, this all seems to show up very mysteriously on Saturdays. So that's a challenge to say that Saturday, you know, used to be a doozy, and now it's like the second Monday. So yeah, I'm sure someone will answer that question. I'm sure someone will have a logical answer for why that suddenly happened. You know what I mean?
Why that happened? Yeah, that happens where there'll be a very light mail day, and then all of a sudden we just get bombarded with flats and mail. And I don't know what's going on at the plant. We had the same issue yesterday where it seemed like we didn't get that much mail. So Monday will probably be just bombarded with mail.
Get blasted tomorrow, probably too. You know, Monday's Monday. You accept that. Tuesday seems like the day where it all disappears, and they say, "Okay, we're going to get everybody their 8-hour days today." then Red Plum Day or Marriage Mail Day, whatever anybody calls it. Some people have it, some people don't. That's always a long day. Ours traditionally go out on Thursday, but sometimes they can stretch all the way to Saturday because of who calls out, who's not there. But you don't know nothing about call out, so
No,
why would I even discuss that?
Not at all. Not at all. No call offs in my office. And
Me and you've been talking about this subject for so long, and it blows my mind. How it's like the sky is blue, the water is wet, and the call out is the call out. On a
call offs
daily
are supposed to.
What?
Right.
Blows my mind. Go ahead, keep going.
Yes. So you're saying we have job security. Are you worried about losing your job? Is our union pretty good? Like, what is your thoughts on the union?
I have a mixed bag of feelings. I believe that in the moment of need, that my union is there for me. I am definitely learning that a little bit more because situations have changed. Chooch was on cruise control for 15, 16 years, and now this is year 19 coming up now this year. And the whole dynamic of morale, the whole dynamic of decency between the manager and the craft employee is just all but diminished so badly. And you get these stories that you just hear constantly of badgering and nonsensical pettiness. And all I want to do is go in, serve my customers, help out anybody who needs help. Explain to people on here to say that you do this and this and not this, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You can't, they said, smile and file, as my friend here says, smile and file. I said, it shouldn't have to come to that. We should just be able to, have a rational way of dealing with each other, but it's just not created that way. Management is taught to badger. Management is taught that the carrier is the enemy. So
it's said that that's like that. It's like I remember I was in a, go ahead.
Been here too long to know that fact all too well, because these things called ears, It's very easy to pick up on information because people are very good at saying loud shit too much, saying it just comes out like, in droves of like large amounts. And you're like, la 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 la.
Right. Just go through one ear out the other. That's kind of how I handle it. I never lose my cool in the office. If a manager's lying right to my face, if they're telling me, oh, I got under time captured, I'm just like, okay, sounds good. I felt my 39.96.
I salute you at 30 years old, and you've already figured that out. It took this knucklehead a little bit longer to develop that skill, but finally, yeah. But like I said, it was peaceful for 15 to 16 years. Peaceful. Never had anything going on like any of this stuff. And then, like I said, people want to reinvent the wheel, and you can't reinvent the wheel. We can say that the post office does need some revamping of certain systems, but at the same time, people are just so caught on to the idea that this is what it is. This is the post office. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm like, no, I don't believe that. I believe that this platform, I believe that us, doing a little bit of this and doing it sensibly and not out to destroy anybody, just out to say that someone's got to get the attention and the employees need to have an awareness, your rules, of your regulations, of, respect lines, of dignity and respect. Like that's in the contract. You got to know these things. You got to come to work. You got to come to work. You can't be calling out. You can't be calling out and leaving Nick with 15 hours of work every day.
Yeah, well, I like the money, so I don't mind it. But everybody else,
you want to stay home a couple of days during Christmas and January, February. Those months are fine.
Yeah,
give them a little breather in May, maybe. When the weather,
right, yeah, because like I like the overtime, but I understand most people don't. So I'm an advocate of just come to work, do your job, and go home. Because if everybody shows up, the overtime disappears. But then when it's Saturday after payday and people decide, hey, I'm going to call out, you're kind of screwing over the rest of the carriers.
I don't know if I've seen that trend exist. I'm sitting there saying like, wow, on the payday they start banging out, and I'm like, where are we going? We going to one of those pizza places to get some deep dish, or
Right.
where is everybody running off to?
I missed the memo. Apparently, they don't invite me nowhere. I'll take the money. I'll take their money.
You got the memo when you were born. You got the memo when you were born, just like I did, and then you slowly watched a pair of parents, a couple of uncles, a couple of wacky grandmothers, and there's, why are these people always working? Why are they always doing something productive? And it just sinks in to say, I got it. I got it. Right. Roll them meatballs, baby. Roll them.
Exactly. I can't wait to make that recipe.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see him, brother.
So what advice would you give to new carriers? So I get so many messages about, how do I survive this job? Management's harassing me. I don't know my rights. What advice would you give to new carriers just starting out who are maybe struggling a little bit?
Great question. Well, I said, as always, first things first, attendance has to be the number one thing. Attendance and being on time. That has to come without saying. I've seen people calling out in the 90 days. If I had called out in the 90 days, 18 years, gone. Even late, gone. Back when before scanning was really like the hardcore scrutiny of scanning, I know the two guys that were in orientation with me in their 90 days, they went to a different station than I did, and I caught up with them in 90, and they said, neither one of us made it. And I'm like, why? What happened? He said, well, they said our times, the guy said our times weren't that good, and I missed a scan on an express mail. I was like 2 minutes late, and I'm like, gone. Yeah. So that's this hardcore scrutiny that was put on it to say, like, don't F up in that first 90 days. Make sure that you are doing everything you can do right. Unfortunately, now there seems to be about 7 mulligans that are given,
7's on the lower side.
I was like lucky number 7. Yeah. But I mean, I understand that there is a generational gap, of course, that says, why am I going to give you my best effort when you're giving me this much money? You're not starting me off with any benefit plan. Like, the CCA thing. I didn't start as a CCA. I started as a PTF. My clock started right when I got in here. So when I see the new guys coming in and I get a chance to talk to them or maybe get a chance to train them or answer anything, I just say to them, listen, main thing you got to do is, in the beginning, you're going to feel like you have to keep moving and you have to run and you have to hit that gas pedal hard. I said, but all you need to be doing is showing improvements on the time every day. Just learn the street that you're doing, learn the route that you're doing. And if they bounce it to another one, come back to me and I'll give you some pointers. You call me if you need to during the day and I'll get you on the right track. I said, you guys have the tech that gives you, all the information you need and gives you the turn-by-turns if you're doing that static route stuff. We never had that. You had to learn by using this back in the day. The memory. They said we didn't have any of that tech. So you were either writing stuff down or you were just constantly repeating to yourself, I got a package for this one. I got a package for this one. So the tech is great, but at the same time, I think it hurts a little bit to say that could be you'd be applying yourself better by writing a few things down, talking to a carrier and taking notes while you're doing your OJI, while you're with your OJI and you're in the truck riding with them in the jumper seat. Take notes. Don't sit there and just like watch what he's doing. Take a lot of notes and then come back to the carrier in the office and say, hey, what do I do? What is this rack over here? It was kind of explained to me. Learn how to endorse mail. Not everything. You don't have to have everything down. It takes a good amount of time to learn everything. But, I was bounced around we had 20 routes in the office at the time. And since then, we've gone down a couple routes due to the mail volume getting lighter. But I was bounced around between all 20 of those routes in my first 6 to 12 months there. So they were showing no mercy. They were like, go this way. Now you're going this way. And I'm just like, but it's all now I said it's all reflex. Hey, ask me any address, ask me anything about my town, and it's like boom, So that's the feeling that will make you eventually get comfortable. But starting off, attendance, be on time, listen to your carriers. Do not take a lot of carrier advice from management. That's why they don't know how to carry. They're not trainer. They're not certified to train carriers. Maybe they were one time when they were a carrier, but not anymore. So listen
Right.
to your carriers. Find your vets that actually care. Your table one vets that might be around, and guys like Nick who have been around a couple of years and clearly know what he's doing and how to handle the mail. And
Right.
ask questions and write them down. Write down.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I see new hires come in, they're kind of like winging it. I'm like, just ask questions. Why are you so afraid to ask questions? I'll have to go up to carriers and be like, hey, I saw you struggling over here with this route. Why don't you just ask me? I'm on that route every day.
It's so easy. It's so easy. I mean, you know, I don't think that, you know, if people are timid or maybe they feel like, you know, I have a dumb question and I don't want to bother this guy. I said, listen, I've answered
Never
the same
dumb
question. I've answered the same question 7,000 times over and over. I said, you know, when you get to that fifth time of asking me the same thing, I might say, hey, listen, you know, maybe this isn't going to work out for you because if you haven't gotten part A yet, we haven't even gotten to part X, you know? So
Right.
again, carrying isn't for everybody. We know this. I talked about this with Jay. I talked about this with you, and I said, you know, carrying is just not for everybody. But if you apply yourself, and if you got a hardcore work ethic, a work ethic that rivals the Amish, like this guy, you know, like I said,
Yeah.
I said, I still go strong every day. I still got, you know, maybe 12, 13 years left to serve. And I'm going to do it as a carrier, pending my legs don't fall out from under me. You know, I said, I'm going to stay a carrier to the end because I love it. And it's a great job. And once you make career and once you get past that rough part in the beginning, you'll be smooth sailing. I promise you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I tell people. Like my brother right now is going through it. He's a CCA, and he's like, I got a whole other.
I love
What's
Russ.
Yeah.
The handsome devil.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. He looks like me, so he's.
Hey, there you go.
But yeah, he's going through it with the CCA grind, and he's like, oh, I have to wait a whole nother year to make PTF. And I'm like, you're number 6 right now. We have a big office, 43 city routes, 20 rural routes. You know, you'll be regular soon. A lot of these guys are going to retire soon. So just stick it out. And once you become regular, you can work your 40 hours and go home. He doesn't want to work the overtime like me. I mean, he wants the overtime now to, you know, save up some money, but you know, he wants the option to work 40 hours. And I told him it's gonna come.
Not everybody can be mailman Nick. Sometimes you got to be mailman Russ. You got to be your own man.
Got to have a life, you know. But no, he you know, he likes the money, but at the same time, he's like, you know, I want to have my days off, 2 days off, and you know, a lot of people do want that. I want my 2 days off, but I want to make the money right now while I'm young, while I still can do it.
I got my drop day coming up this week. I got my NS day. I got today off, obviously. Rare thing on the calendar year 2024 and 2023, man. I am non-ODL forced. Yeah. Is it staffing? Is it questionable motives of management? You know, I just say if my name's on the schedule, I go in. Do I love that paycheck when it shows those numbers? Absolutely. But, you know, I'm not in this room very much.
Yeah.
This is my fortress of solitude, you know. I said,
right.
Down here and chill out and watch the games to say, you know, well, we're going to go have the meatballs later at my mother-in-law. Actually, we're going out to dinner tonight at a nice restaurant right nearby here, old school place.
You deserve it.
Anthony's, they're the great.
Oh, Anthony's.
So what do you think? What do you think it would be called? You know, Anthony's, Antonio's, Giuseppe's. We got them all within 5 blocks of here. We got some good pubs too, man. I tell you, I got to give props to the pubs. The pubs can put out some good Italian food just as much as the Italian places can around here. You'll see. You know, when you come through, I'm going to make sure your belly's out to here. But
as long as I'm fed and I make my money, I'm happy as a clam.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. You know, you already know the first spot I'm taking you to. No plugs for them. They don't need those plugs. So I'll just plug this right here, courtesy of my man Unconscious Thoughts, right there. Everybody needs to see that. You know what that is?
Yeah, shout out to him. He's a good content creator.
Absolutely. Very wise guy, very smart kid. I call him a kid. I'm like, you know, I'm the old fart.
We're getting old, huh?
What else you got for me? Go ahead.
So one last question. What's your diet like? You know, we're carrying a lot. What's your diet like?
Well, when I'm not giving out meatball recipes and family heirloom recipes that have tons of meat and cream and so
all the good stuff.
I
The
said
good
no.
stuff.
Mrs. Chooch is one of the greatest cooks on earth. Thank God she took all that information that her mothers and her aunts and her grandmother gave her, and she provides a beautiful 4 to 5 day week of like very balanced vegetables and a lot of salmon. We do a little bit of fish. Always a good piece of salmon around. We put broccoli. We do the spinach. Man with the spinach over here. Got the avocado working in the mix now. I got smoothies. I bought a smoothie mixer at Costco because of this guy right here. I watch his videos. I'm like, man, that looks good. And that would replace me eating 2 slices of pizza and washing it down with a freaking iced tea. So great. I got the kids getting in on the smoothies a little bit. We got fresh berries. We got the ones that are coming the already frozen thing from Costco. We got the Greek yogurt. So I'm slowly but surely I am turning a fatty into a beast. So I even looking into hitting the order button for some weights, getting back into putting some weights up a little bit, just to keep these old bones from getting too squeaky. Yep, there you go.
Oh yeah, I love to hear it. Chooch, I appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Where can they find you? You got a YouTube channel. Where can they find you?
Yes, absolutely. First things first, we got a podcast that we started up a few weeks ago that involves me, Mr. JH, Mailman Derek. We're certainly going to have Nick on there at some point, and it's called the Postal Power Hour. You can download that on Spotify. You can get that on Amazon Music, and I'm looking to get everything squared away with Apple Music. There's just a couple more steps, but yeah, it's Postal Power Hour on Spotify. Check us out. We got a lot of fun things to say. We get a little nasty on there, but at the same time, we work. Where do we work for? Who do we work for? What's going on right here? What do you got to say about this? Believe me, we got plenty to say. So there's that, and then my YouTube is Chooch, YACHOOCH, Chooch. Check me out on there. Just getting started with the videos, trying to put out some more postal stuff. Mostly, you'll see me eating a lot of food and having a bad diet, like Nick said. But
yeah,
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Forget about it. I can't wait to get you in town here, bud. I can't wait to come see you too. So
yeah, Chicago, Philly collab for sure.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. And Russ needs to come too. Absolutely, everybody's invited. More meatballs for everybody.
I'll bring them for sure. Chooch, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, bud.
Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon. Yeah.
Go Birds!
Go Philly and go Bears.
Bear down, baby. Bear down. Let's go. I'll see you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. Later.